Hi, I'm Scarnato. My company is Long Island Vine Care, and we take care of residential backyard vineyards just like this one. This property has 3 rows of Chardonnay, 3 rows of Merlot, and 3 rows of Cab Franc. Old faithful varieties, old staples. This is a great time of year to be walking through any vineyard because the grapes are starting to turn. That's called veraison, when sugar starts coming into the grapes. These vines were planted in 2007, and so they're over 10 years old, so they're really starting to hit their stride. You can see that the canopy is full. We're loaded with fruit. Because of the age of the vines can handle this much fruit. You know, when the vines are younger, you want to baby them, go easy on them, but these vines are just totally balanced. With a lot of the backyard properties, you'll find, because they're usually surrounded by trees, it's kind of like a heat bowl. And so the backyard vineyards would be, even if it's just a couple days, ahead of some of the commercial vineyards. I've been doing this for 10 years in lots of different facets. I was lucky enough to get an internship at Martha Clara. I was looking to get a winery job, but I was too young. So they stuck me in the vineyard. I just fell in love, couldn't help it. Being there, being immersed in it, I realized I wanted to bring that same feeling right to people's homes. Like 2 years into starting the business, I really wanted to quit. But my wife wouldn't let me, and I'm really glad I stuck it out because very slowly I found some really good customers. But that's the point. I found really good customers. And they've let me experiment, they've let me learn, and we've come out with some really good products since then. I have 12 backyard clients, 75% of them on the Northforker, and they're about 2/10 of an acre. So about 200 vines. They'll yield between 200, 300, sometimes even 400 bottles. This is a really cool site. It's one of the few hills that I have. Right, when you think of vineyards, you think of rolling hills. And there's some good reasons for that. That's where vines should be grown. So there's 2 varieties in this field. They're kind of mixed in. There's some Cabernet Franc. So here's your little baby Cabernet Franc leaf. And then right next to it is our Marquette leaf. Here we have all of our Marquette fruit. Let me pick you out a cluster so you can see what these guys look like. Here's a pretty classic cluster this time of year. Some of the customers I have, because they planted a vineyard, then they realized, oh my goodness, this is a full-time job. And it might only be 100 plants, but I think it's more that this is an inconvenience. So people will plant a vineyard and then they'll be like, I gotta call up Steve and I can't do this anymore. So those are great customers because they're grateful that I can help them. But a lot of people want to connect with nature again, and not in some like ultra escapist, but they want to have it at their house where they have their home and then they have a second place. They have a place where their family eats dinner in the middle of the vineyard. Or I have one customer that has a bocce ball court, so that's where all of his friends hang out, in the middle of the vineyard, and it's a cool place to bring people together. Whenever you see a vine that's thriving, it's because you married the site to the grape variety. And so I have some Pinot Noir that I love growing, and it's a really good site for it. I wouldn't want to grow it in a lot of sites. It's a very difficult grape to grow. There's some Cab Franc I have that it's just totally spaced out. It's like 8 feet by 10 feet or something ridiculous. And you can tell the vines can just breathe, and they're so much happier. And so it's things like that, where it's the right vine on the right site. I'd love to crack the code on world-class wine on Long Island, and I think that's going to take some traveling. I have a lot of experience with varieties, but I'd really love to see a lot of the varieties that I grow at home. You know, I have my way of growing them here, but what's it like to grow my Italian varieties in Italy? What's it like to grow Pinot Noir in Burgundy? I get chills just thinking about that.